suppose you're wondering why I've gathered you here.
Yeah.
That's crossed my mind.
Has crossed your mind. Well, you remember I mentioned in the discussion last time, one of the biggest contributions to pedestrian accident safety was the fact that the speedometer has been dialed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been watching mine avidly.
Well, there's a piece of software that I have, and it's that one.
Ah, you mentioned that, did you not?
Mentioned this once
Yeah.
before, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is basically show you how it all works,
Right.
explain it all, and just basically go through the costs. So to use Talk, or Talk Pro as I've got here, you need an OBD2 dongle.
Ah.
So onboard diagnostics. So you need to know where your port is.
Which I've seen a lot of how-to videos for certain cars on how to find your
So
port.
basically, find your port, get one of these, stick it in, which is easy enough, and then of course we'll find that it all starts to match up.
So basically this is linking up to what you've just plugged in there.
Yep. So it links up. This one by Bluetooth. The most common ones link up via Bluetooth. You can get them to connect via USB. You can get them to connect via Wi-Fi. But the more common and the easier ones to get are the ones that link up by Bluetooth.
Right.
And it connects up. And once your car's running, it will actually connect into your onboard diagnostic, all your ECU. Now, bear in mind, this will pick up the common engine code faults as you're driving. It won't pick up any manufacturer-specific ones.
Right.
So if you get something that comes up that's specific to your vehicle, it will pick those up. It will pick up the common engine faults and things like that. So it's basically an onboard diagnostics system.
Yeah.
So you should be able to, well, flash that up there. But once the car's all connected up and started, you should find that the car connection stops flashing. So see it there flashing. It's got GPS. It's got connected to the actual adapter, and it's got power. And after a few moments, it's going to go horribly wrong now. It should connect up and say, "I'm connected." There we go.
Oh, something just did like a sweep of the
Yeah.
dial,
And it's got your car there, Rover 75 there.
Yep.
We are, see?
So we've got the profile on there. We have to build a profile for each car.
Right.
You can see there that stopped flashing, but also that's gone from accelerometer to
Rev counter.
Rev counter.
Yeah, we are.
It's pretty good, that, isn't it?
Now, the beauty about this, I'll mount it there. I'm not going to keep holding up to the camera while driving.
That won't be a good safety feature.
It wouldn't. You can do custom dashboards.
All right.
So if we go into there, I've got a couple of setups. We've got
Hey,
the
wow,
revs.
that's pretty good.
That's
that,
good, isn't it? Yeah.
I've got how green I'm driving,
Oh, no, that's something.
and the clock, coolant temperature, speed, rev counter, all sorts of bits and pieces on there. We'll take it for a run. I'll show you the sort of features. So this one's generally showing how green I'm driving,
Right.
speed. Obviously, I'm not going to get massively green credentials, I don't think, driving around Huddersfield.
No.
But take note while I'm driving of, so we put it onto an easy one to read, that one. So that speed and that speed.
I might have to just move over a little bit.
Yeah. So that speed and that speed as I'm driving along. Now there's a little bit of latency on there, but not a massive amount, because every time it's got to keep, it scans every now and again. It doesn't constantly be on it. You know, like every so many bits of a second it scans and says, right, what's my latest reading?
Right.
So there's a little bit of latency. But once we're on a reasonably constant speed, you'll notice that one is different to the other. So my car's saying I'm doing 20.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
21.
That was saying 18,
Yeah.
and you said 20, that's an 18,
Yeah. In fact, I think it's probably more like 21. So yeah, we're looking at.
You'll have to bear with us with the jolted up and down, but we do have terrible speed bumps around here.
Right, these speed bumps. Well, we don't need speed bumps, we've got potholes.
Well, that is true, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
saying over 30 you can, and that's saying 28.
I'm going to say that's between a 3 and a 4 mile an hour overread on the car.
Difference, yeah.
Well, it's actually the percentage. So when you're actually doing 70, so if I was going on a motorway saying I was doing 70, that would be telling me I'd be doing 62.
Right.
When I'm doing 80, I'm actually doing about 75.
Yeah.
74, 75.
I think the overread is higher the higher speed you get.
Yeah.
It is a handy guide, is this, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you know, the thing that annoys me, we're coming up to a speed camera now, and the thing that annoys me is somebody will slow down to about 25 mile an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going through at my car saying about 30, and I'm doing 26.
Yeah.
So when you slow down to 25, you're doing way less than 25. I mean, that's not all that this is capable of. It's capable of a lot more, which we'll go into as we're driving along. In fact, this would be a very, very, very short piece. So,
I'm to wrap up on that.
and we're all done, and on to the next bit. But no, this is actually capable of a heck of a lot more, because it's actually now mapping the journey. So we've got the GPS running all the time, so we can get a pretty good average, a pretty good idea of what mileage we've done, where we've been, but also crucially, if you've got faults on a car that crop up at certain points, you can see whereabouts you were, the exact point you were when it came up, what the fault is, and try and track down possible causes from that. So
there's pretty much an onboard diagnostics as well as
and the fact it's not just doing it once when it's like turned on, and it's doing it constantly, isn't it? It's forever checking, and it sounds like a really.
You see there, we've just gone through a speed camera there, and according to the car itself, bang on 30 mile an hour, and it was showing 26, wasn't it? It's 26 points.
Yeah, 26 points.
So
if you round it down to 27, you're still well under what the speed camera.
Yeah.
So, as a note for all those people who think they need to slow down for cameras, don't. Let's have a look.
How green is your car?
How green is your car? Well, mine's gold.
Mine's black.
Mine's red as well, doesn't it? Dangerous.
So, how green is your car? I mean, this builds it up over time, but it's taking snapshots of data that you're not actually even registering. Bear in mind, it all depends on what your onboard diagnostics port can actually output, which depends on the ECUs that your cars have. For example, I mean, this car's Rover 75. It's got BMW electronics in it, and a BMW engine in this one.
Yeah.
So what you can push out of, or the information you can get out of this, is far more than you can get out of the Rover 45.
Yes.
Your trees just got greener.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they're supposed to be apples or whatever them symbols
Just
are.
leaves.
They're not leaves or whatever. It's just filled with more greenery.
Yep. So the better you drive, the more green the tree.
Right. So it's obviously just while you've been explaining that, it's just taking like another new reading, and
it likes what it's getting.
Yeah. And of course, in theory, the more green you drive, the less fuel you're going to use and things like that.
It's got greener again.
Yeah. Look at that, look at that, we are...
We've practically got a full tree.
We have, yeah.
And it says below, it gives you a little thing there, so it's got green machine on that one.
Right.
And then when you get the full lot, it's Eco Warrior.
It's almost a game now in yourself,
it becomes a game. Yeah, driving to work becomes a game.
Try and keep the tree.
It's really green now.
Yep, that's as high as you can get. So now we're Eco Warrior.
Eco Warrior, we're Eco Warriors now.
For all you lot out there, we're Eco Warriors today.
Who said you need a Prius? Just buy a 17-year-old Rover.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Tell me what did in a Prius or something like that.
You can have different faces as well, different dials, different types of dials.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? Yeah.
It's not if it's just all one set thing.
There is one thing that's really good on this as well. You can actually have the display twisted round so it can act like a heads up.
Yeah.
But you need a mount in the right place on the windscreen. And to be fair, for most of the cars I've tried this in, just as like tests, I've tried it in a couple of friends' cars and stuff like that. It's not as good as a dedicated actual device, but it's okay. There are a number of other features on Torque as well. For example, a diagnostic test mode, which can run tests on the car as you're going along. You can also scan the ECU, so if your engine light's on, you can find out any codes that have actually been triggering it, or even any legacy codes that have been there that may well have been solved but are still held in memory. Different faces and styles can also be set for the time of day, so you can have one set in the daytime and another set when it's dark, just to make things a little bit clearer for you. Quite a few people know a lot about these. Some people use them religiously, other people won't have a clue.
Yeah.
That's basically why we're doing this. But there are other bits of software available as well. Some of them for free, many of them have cost.
Yeah.
Now, Torque, which is the one we've got here, I absolutely love. I've used it for years. And you can get a free version, which gives you a limited subset stuff, and you can pay for the full version. Now, the full version is a max. Well, at the time when I got it, was a massive whopping $2.99.
Wow.
And the OBD dongle was an absolutely huge £2.50.
It's not going to break the bank, this isn't really.
No, so for less than a tenner,
yeah,
you're set up really, aren't you?
Yeah, and change for lunch. You can also do graphing as well, so you can get it to look at the horsepower of the wheels, the actual mechanical power of the wheels, other things as well, and just graph it as it's going along. The real-time graph. With the graphing side of things, basically, tap on the graphing, set the x-axis sensors, and we've got all sorts of bits to scroll through here. Unfortunately, I know what I'm looking for, so I'm just going to go straight the way through. Look at the engine RPM because it makes everything else look really. As you can see, there's a whole host of things you can actually look at. The ones marked in green are the ones you can get information from. But what I want is horsepower at the wheels. Torque. I think that's it. So let's just get the two bits there. So now we've got the graph. Once I set it going, it will start graphing the whole thing.
Actually graphing about then what you've just selected.
Yeah. So what power I'm sending to the wheels, how much torque I'm using, torque being green, power to the wheels being red.
Yeah.
Sorry for the shaking, folks.
It's alright.
Again, the roads.
Roads.
Help. There's quite a bit of feedback there, isn't there? What's happening? Just a bit of shock, isn't it?
Obviously it's not going to be as accurate as a rolling road,
No.
but it gives you an idea on what your car's actually doing.
It's the guidelines still.
And it's real world driving at the day, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got a list of recorded trips that were there previously.
Right.
You can basically select that trip and see what you were doing. Red being close to the top speed you were doing at the time, so if you're doing 70 on the motorway, that will be your red point. As with this one, it's just basically been quite a short journey. 30 is about your red point.
Yeah.
So
that's really good, that.
Tells you how sort of efficient you are, and you can look at your efficiency.
Well, with that, for me, it's more so I can record on mileage that I've done for claiming it back. But also, if there's a particular point where an engine warning lights coming up, you can see that it'll get tagged on there, and you can sort of see roughly what you were doing. Were you doing around 70? Were you doing around 40? That sort of thing. And
the fact that you can save it for people that might have, like yourself, to claim back for any expenses or anything
Is a
like
really
that,
good
really
thing.
good
Yeah,
thing.
you're not just relying on the mileage of the car, are you?
Well, you're not also relying on saying to bosses or things, well, I did this and did that, and you've got proof there, haven't you?
yeah,
You've got some real physical proof there, which I think is a good thing. So anyone out there that does a lot of things that they have to require proof of mileage or places they've been and all that to get back, anything like that.
It's a really handy little tool.
Because any bosses that refuse it, I can't get out of that one. This is what I did.
While there are other apps out there, Talk Pro is the one that I use daily with my car. And to be honest, it's never let me down and given me plenty of information. If you want something like that with a bit of diagnostics and a few other features besides, this really is worth a look. It's available on the Google Play Store and works on most Android phones. I haven't yet come across one that it doesn't work on.